Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Life of Beard YouTube channel. And today we are coming back with something a bit different. I do say that quite a bit, but I am trying to I'm trying different ideas to see if they're just throwing them all up there and see if they stick at all. And plus, it's my channel, so I can do what I want. So I'm trying to doing a bit of everything. I'm trying to grow and get more confident doing different things. Um, and this is kind of like going to be like a Phantasmal Flames sort of, I guess, set review. I was gonna like put these into the tail end of other videos, which I think I did with Mega Evolution and sort of the pulls and the hits that I got. Um, but I thought I wanted to break it down, maybe do something a little bit more raw, try and do sort of like one take. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, and just cover my pulls, what I think of the set, maybe some TCG stuff, have a look at some sort of the art styles I like, and give my sort of overall opinion of the actual set. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, for me, Zard sets are always very, very bad. I do terrible with Zard sets. Um, I don't really pull a lot of them. Well, I didn't pull that many through Scarlet and Violet area. I struggled with Obsidian Flames. I had to pick up the Zards for Obsidian Flames, and I did quite well during the Sword and Shield area. I got a couple of Zards from the Celebration set, a couple from Shining Fates, I think a couple from Darkness Ablaze. So I haven't done too bad there. Um, but again, this has been not a great set for me. Maybe I should have taken hint because of the Zards. Because again, like I said, I do notoriously bad. So I managed to get two of these Zards, which is not terrible. So I'm glad I've got at least one of those EXs for the sort of base set. I like to collect base sets of each sort of set. So all the common cards, the EXs and the hollows, up into the trainer cards before they sort of go into the hyper res, illustration res, etc. So I've almost done that, and I got pretty much everything, which we'll go over again in a second. But yeah, I did quite well with Mega Evolutions. And I did very well with black and white, so it was only a matter of time before my pack luck sort of ran out, and it sort of has. I've opened three booster bundles, so that's 6, 12, 18, and then I've had two ETBs, that's another 20, booster box 30. So I've had close to 80, 90 packs off the top of my head, and I haven't had a single SIR, which has been really disappointing. I didn't even get one in my booster box, and generally, touch wood, fingers crossed, excuse me, I've always had a SIR. Like I didn't do too bad with Mega Evolution. I had the Latius and Wally's Compassion SIR, so that wasn't too bad. But not really a sniff in this set. Like as you can see, a lot of dupes, a lot of Rottums, and this is not all of them because that doesn't include the one that's in the other. Well, the other two that are in another pile, which I'll show you. These are just dupes, words, and I've sold a full art one as well. But yeah, this is my major dupe pile. So I've had the Powder and Wooper. I've pulled three of these in total. Two of these, two of these, three of these, two of these, two or three of these, and then three of these Heracross. So there's quite a lot of dupes for a lot of different products that I've opened. Like I said, I've had booster bundles, 3-pack blisters, booster boxes, ETBs, Pokemon Center ones, and Charizard UPC. Some of those videos which you would have seen on the channel. If you follow, then you'll know. Some may not have come out yet, so we'll see where this comes in. I want to try and maybe do these quite early on in the release schedule of the set, so then I can sort of look into it and see what what's what, and give you guys a good idea. But yeah, for me, not a great set. I mean, it's kind of a nice set. I kind of like how it's sort of a smaller set, sort of a flashback to the Sword and Shield sets. I was looking through my master set of Rebel Clash, which is not everyone that says that. So very underrated set, Rebel Clash. But anyway, I was looking at that, and the set was so much smaller, so much more simple, and I do kind of like that, and I kind of like what they've done with these last few sets. They've been a bit smaller, particularly this one where it seems like it's even smaller in terms of illustration rares, the hyper rares, ultra rares, etc. Um, so I like that. I like what they're going. I'd rather have sort of a nice mix of Pokemon. I mean, I was hoping a little bit more from this set. I thought it was going to be a bit nicer. I was partly hyped for it, but I also knew, like I said, that underneath it all, it's a Zard set. It's a Zard set. Words, God. Um, so I knew that I might not do very particularly very well with it, um, and I kind of regret it a little bit. So for how much I spent on it. I probably spent close to 500 in total. That's with the UPC, the Charizard UPC, which obviously didn't come with loads of Phantasmal Flames, but it's a sort of a Phantasmal product. Um, but yeah, so that's the dupes. Not too bad. I mean, a lot of these will be going up on Vinted. So if you're new to the channel, if you haven't checked out my Vinted, go to look at my socials below and have a look for those. Like Heracross, we might be able to make a deck if I can get some more, like maybe Mega Venusaur, maybe a Heracross deck, which would be quite nice. Um, Rotom, apparently you can make a Rotom box deck, so that might be might be something to use those for, which should be handy. So these are sort of like these are going to be my sort of my big hits, I guess, of the set. I got quite a nice selection of illustration rares. So we got the kind of Flygon. I don't know if you can see this. I was trying to do some different lighting as well to get actually so you can see. But I quite like the subtle background, like sort of pastel colours from this. Sorry, I had to do a little pause there for a little coughing fit because lovely. So if there's a little cut, that's room of one take. But never mind, we're rolling with it. Yeah, this Flygon. I really like this little Flygon. It's I like the little pastel colours in the background. It's pretty cool. Not my favourite Pokemon, but still, I like it. This is, like I said, the third one of these Zacians. So that's another one for there. I quite like the art style. I mean, I'm not a massive sort of Zacian fan. I know some people are, but not necessarily for me. I managed to get the Totodemaru words card, which everyone seems to like. It's very cute, so that's pretty cool. The Paldean Wooper, which I didn't realize had a little story of the Pokemon Center in the background, which is quite cute. So yeah, so I've got another one of those. I got the Meowth again. I'm not a massive Meowth fan. I wasn't really too bothered about it. But again, talking to some of the Beardiverse people on stream and how it's a little sort of little backstory, I quite like it, and a lot of people seem to want it, so I'm keeping it now. And in this one, this I happened to, again pull twice, as you saw in my dupes. I remember my mum, Mama Beard, pointing this out and going, "Oh, I like that one." So yeah, that it had to be sort of fate that I was going to pull it, not just once but twice. But I quite like the funky colours with it, so that was pretty cool. So some decent IRs, not my favourite ones, but not the best, not the worst either. Um, Blowtorch again, sort of a. I think it's going to be quite heavy in a TCG, helpful for the Zard players and the Fire players. So like I said, I've got three of those. Uh, Rotom, again, it seems to be following me for this set. I do like what they've done with the sort of art designs in the full arts and how they've sort of matched it. So this one's sort of like all electronic-y and sort of cybery, which is quite nice. I like. I've never been a massive fan of full arts like this, but I like how they're doing something with it. So that's pretty cool. And then the other ones, this is probably the biggest hit in terms of rarity, I guess you could say. I'm already a bit struggle with the rarities because I prefer the Japanese way of doing it with the SARs and the stuff like that instead of the hyper rares and the little star system. So apologies if I get that mixed up in videos, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Right. So yeah, I really would have liked, apart from Bizarre, I say that, but I would have liked the SAR, Sharpedo and Rotom because they are pretty cool. Obviously, the Zard. I'm not a massive fan of Charizard. I think it's a little bit overrated. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know, but yeah, it just would have been nice to get one and make those pennies. But it's not all about the pennies, so never mind. So we will sort of start closing this segment down with. So we got pretty much all the EXs. We only need Emperor Leon, which is a metal one, which is a bit odd, but still. I do like how they've done the mega cards, particularly like the Gengar and the Sharpedo, because you kind of get that. I'll try and catch it on the camera, which you can't really see because the sleeve's probably reflecting the colors off it. But I like how it has the dark with the dark sort of blacky blue, and then with the yellow, you can kind of see it a bit more in Sharpedo. So I do like how they've done that over maybe like even though the terrestrial ones were quite nice and bright and sparkly, I do really like and how it's got a little bit of texture with the megas. So we've done pretty good there. Like I said, sort of my base set is sort of sorted. I'm a big fan of common cards. I do like a nice, just looking common, whether it's a hollow or just like a sort of basic common card like that. Again, we've got the Moltres, which is pretty cool. Obviously for the fire players, and then sort of darkness, we've got them wicked mix of colors with the dark and the yellow for toxicity. So I'm very happy and cool about that. And then Zacian, again, I did say, well, I say again, I did say a moment ago that I didn't really like Zacian, but this is one I do like because it's my favourite artist, which is a Karyu card, which I don't hear a lot of people talk about. But I sort of like the sort of watercolory. It's a little bit darker tendencies to have, which I think is quite cool in a Pokemon card. And there's a lot of cool Karyu cards. Some that I can think of off the top of my head is the Lugia from Silver Tempest, the big Lugia that everyone wants, which I'll never have in my collection, sadly. But we'll close this section down as a dog barks in the park. Hopefully you can't hear that. We've got some common cards. So again, it's a nice looking set overall, and it has some nice cards. Perhaps, like I said, I've been a bit too overly enthusiastic with this set, but never mind. So we've got a cute little Jigglypuff, so that's very cool. I actually really like this Bronzor and Bronzog sort of artwork. Very sort of, I don't know, that it's kind of like colourful but not, and this Bronzor is a little bit trippy, which I kind of like with the little magnetism energy going on there. This Ghastly, I again, it's the sort of subtle mix of colours. It's sort of like a beigey, sort of yellowy colour with the black outline. It's very simple, but I liked it. I would like to see that in maybe like a illustration rare. That would have been cool. And we got Gilgart and Gilscore again with these sort of kind of creepiness. I mean, I suppose they are really, but I also like the artwork where it's kind of a bit more um, darker or black outlines, like a comic book type thing, I guess you could say. And the gill score is just sort of creepy with the eyes, so I like that. So that's pretty cool. Mimikyu, classic Mimikyu. It's a little bit more subtle, but I do like it. Sort of like a very, very sort of low shade, again, sort of pastely colors almost. But I like it. I like that. And then probably two of my favorite cards of the set, particularly this one, the Chartreuse, with this nice like sparkly red, purpley, black background going on. So I really like that. I'd like a nice 4K wallpaper for my desktop, or perhaps like an illustration rare. That would be pretty cool. And the Shallow Rouge, which is pretty cool as well. Again, sort of very sort of subtle but dark to go with the whole sort of phantasmal color slash theme set. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. It's a very quick one, bit ranty. I'm not a massive fan of like ranting. I do kind of like to keep things positive rather than go on a negative. But again, we're trying out new content. We're seeing what sticks, seeing if there's anything that people may have missed. Like I don't want to say that I'm salty that lots of people have pulled the Charizard and I've pulled absolutely zero. Like I said, I can't really complain at the end of the day. Like I said, it is a hobby. I suppose you could say it is for kids, and it's not all about the money and getting the Zards. Like I said, I think Charizard's a little bit overrated. But that is just me, even though this Mega is quite nice. And the SIR words, Japanese, English, is pretty nice for a Charizard card. So, but I'm looking forward to the next set. I was thinking about not going too heavily into it, but that may change because some of the products do look quite good. But yeah, I've waffled enough. This is Beard Thoughts, Beard Reviews. Definitely not Beard Rants, but Beard something. Dogs barking. You might not be able to hear that. If you can, I'm sorry. Otherwise, friends, we're going to call out a video. I'll see you all next time. Peace and love, everyone. Like, follow, and subscribe, and let me know what you think of the video, what you think of this set. And I'll see you all next time, friends. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Bye.